Welcome back to another chill art hangout. Sometimes when I see some of the art-related discourse online, I feel a little self-conscious about what I'm putting out there. Sometimes I do worry that making all of these things all the time, that my influence is going to have a negative effect on somebody. In the same way that Holly Brown felt sincere regret when the 600-page sketchbook challenge went out in the way that it did, because I personally cannot imagine doing that every single day, because I am somewhat highly productive now. I used to be just like most people. I used to maybe do a painting once a month at the most, maybe every few months, which is normal. It's like exercise, right? I don't like exercising, and the best I've ever done is maybe a 15-minute session of aerobics 5 days a week for like 2 weeks. That's about as successful as I ever got with exercise. Nah, man. I seem overproductive mostly because I have the time. Like, even when I didn't have the time, I made the time to do it. When I was working full-time, I was burning out because the art stuff was the only thing that actually gave my life purpose and meaning. I wasn't the type of person who went out and had fun, met up with people, had like a social life, family life, whatever. So I made a lot of art because it was just better than the alternative. One of the bad social media boosted unhealthy habits is the fact that everything always has to be good all the time, and it has to be all the time. We're conditioned to think that we make a piece of art, we post it online, and then that's it. Like, that is the entire shelf life of that painting, and then after that it's done, and you can never share it again, and it's just out there, and that's it. And we tend to forget that people will follow at different stages of your existence, and they aren't going to like scroll back the whole way to see everything. So there's a good chance that you can just recycle, old posts that you really like and maybe attach a new message to them, a new story, maybe, I don't know. It's yours. A lot of you have been here for a long time, and so I do worry that, it makes me feel like my aunt who tells the same story over and over and over again, and you don't want to interrupt her. But they're usually good stories, right? Another habit that we have is trying to monetize everything, and I feel particularly guilty about that because I talk about monetizing things all the time. It would be a dream for me to be able to just do this forever. And if I could make just enough of a living, it doesn't have to be that much. I'm not picky. I don't have a lifestyle. Just pay the strata fee, feed my cat. I'm happy. But you don't have to sell work or even show your work to consider yourself an artist. Like, you don't really have to be a professional artist to hang your art in a gallery, even, for example. Like, another thing that I see is that people get worried that they're supposed to show literally everything, even if they don't want to. And I kind of understand where that comes from because of the first one where everything has to be fine art 24/7. And so people come in and be like, oh no, you should just post all these bad sketches you have, your desk work in progress. I have a whole video talking about stuff that you can post on social media that isn't perfectly finished fine art. But the goal isn't to make you uncomfortable. They're just ideas. If you make something and you don't want to show it to anybody, don't show it to anybody. It's okay. The difference between filming a painting, for example, and just making a painting is ridiculously huge. I think this is why I didn't really get into streaming. That's why all my videos already start with the line art finished. Not everything has to be immortalized forever. Post schedule. Instagram is the worst for this. People are talking about how you need to post on Instagram 1,000,000 times a day. There are even videos out there where it was really weird. This person was like, have to reply to as many people in the first hour as possible because every comment counts, even if it's yours. And if you can double the comments, you will boost it in the algorithm. And every time you get a new follower, you need to send them an actual voice message, kind of like talk to them like you're a friend. If someone did that every time I followed them on Instagram or social media on YouTube, that is just too much. That's too much for me. Sometimes I will wake up and I will have a plan for the day, and then I'll be like, oh, I don't want to do that. That's boring. I don't want to post that. And maybe that's bad that I'm not playing the game, and that's why my growth is so pathetic, but there are better ways than just posting and running 1,000,000 times a day, surely. A super terrifying habit is the growth mindset. Usually use that as a positive, but in this case, I'm kind of using it as a negative because people do talk about how they will often turn into number monitors and focus a lot on likes and dislikes. I've seen people being like, I gained 3 subscribers today, but then I lost 2. What does this mean? I used to just post videos for fun. I mean, I do, but it wasn't until a few years ago that I actually noticed that my ratio for subs to views is really sad. It definitely makes you feel different because 6,000, ooh, big number. And then you see the views and you're like, oh, number not big. That is the thing that's kind of terrifying to me because it changes people's actions. I didn't know that there was a ranking system in YouTube Analytics. Ranks your recent video within the last 10 videos, for example. So when you upload a video, compares your video's performance to your last 10 videos, and it tells you how good or bad you are. It wasn't until I had a video that ranked 1 of 10. It was like the best video in the last 10 videos. And the only reason why I did see it is because when I opened the analytics page, a bunch of fireworks pops up, and I'm like, what is that? It just means that that one video performed better than the last 10 videos. And that sets in this weird hunting and reward drive where you're like, oh, okay, my next video has to be better than this. And that's how people find their niche on YouTube. I don't think I've ever seen 1 of 10 ever since then. And then the next video you upload, in my case, was a vlog, which always does poorly. It was a total dive, and I never saw 1 of 10 again. And I was just back to old me with completely unshareable, unfunny content. And I totally get it, because I don't think I've ever shared an art video that wasn't funny. I literally only ever share gaming videos. That's it. Markiplier videos. The worst thing about social media, and particularly YouTube, is the algorithm. I don't know what the algorithm is doing to art channels in YouTube. I like the vlog type, which is why I make vlogs. Those are the kind of videos I like. I like seeing what other creative people are doing with their life. I might not like their art though. And so when all these big YouTubers are doing, I'm going to try these TikTok, blah, 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 and a lot of people will watch it anyway. But then I think about people who actually do a wonderful service to this community. And I'm so glad that you showed me Rafi and Klee, because I would not still be here if not for that channel. And they are not big YouTubers. They do what they want to do and what suits them because they're not YouTubers. They are artists making a modest living, which is all that I wanted. And it's honestly so much easier to take inspiration from people who aren't quite so A-level. A lot of it seems to be just by chance. And a lot of it is just following the algorithms. And just like in art, when people think, oh, in order to sell a bunch of art and make a living, I'm going to have to draw only pets, or I'm gonna have to draw only beach paintings the size of this wall. Something that they just don't want to do, but they feel like they need to do because that's what their viewers want, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't really know what the point of this video is. I just wanted to sit and draw and talk about stuff. Let me know if you know of a social media boosted unhealthy artist habit, or just tell me, how's it going, guys? How's your life? What are you up to these days? Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you in the next one.